Welcome back to Meals from Mama. Today we're going to be doing crispy chicken and French fries, homemade fries. No reason to go out for takeout. Make your food at home. See you in a bit. So with our crispy chicken, I usually get a whole big pack of chicken from Costco. There's usually 9 chickens within here. And then we're going to fillet them 3 times. So that gives us 27 pieces of chicken. Now I do that because nobody really likes to eat like a big thick piece of crispy chicken. Like nobody likes that. It's nice to have it nice and thin. So again, no recipes here, mama methods though. So the first thing that we're going to do is we need to have an area where we're going to be able to pound out our chicken once we have it crossed. So I don't like to cross-contaminate anything. I don't want any chicken juice on my counter. So I simply take some saran wrap and layer it several times. That's going to give us our base that once our chicken is cut out of our package here, and we're going to be able to pound it down to the consistency that we want it. Now, some of you might like it a little bit thicker. I know my family likes it thin. So we're going to get them as thin as we possibly can. And remember to be very careful when you're cooking with chicken. So, I'll show you the first one and then we'll speed up our take. So we're going to take our chicken and we're going to cut open the plastic here. I'm going to actually fillet them right inside the plastic again so I don't have to use as much stuff here. And we're simply going to pick one up. The first one's always trickier because there's not as much room, actually. I might move the salt and pepper out of the way here a little bit. That'll give us a tiny little bit more room. And we're going to get rid of our first half here. This is always the thinnest half here. It's more the tenderloin part of the chicken. And we're going to plop it down on our new sheet. And we're going to give number 2 and 3. Whew. All right. So by the time I'm done here, we'll have 27 pieces of chicken. Now sometimes your chicken breast may have a big pile of part of a chicken you don't want to eat. I don't even know what you want to call it. Gunk, as Ty says. So we're going to cut that gunk off before we continue to fillet it because nobody wants to eat a big pile of gunk. We've got our chicken cut out and filleted. Now before we pound it, what you want to do is pour your oil into your pan. Come on over. Again, mama methods here, no measuring. You want to give it a good base though, because again, this is similar to we're going for a chicken finger. Although we're not deep frying it, we are definitely frying it. So you want to make sure your oil is covering your pan completely, okay? And because we have so many pieces to do, and I like to make my life easier by cooking in bulk and then freezing it. Because when our busy families are on the go, it's nice to be able to just pop something in the toaster oven right away and have it done. So we're going to heat up all of our oil so that by the time we're good to go, we have a nice sizzle already going on our pan. So we're actually going to go to almost medium on our heat down here. And we're going to go on all of the pans here. There we go. Perfect. And then that way, by the time our chicken's done, our oil will be ready too, and we're not wasting any time. So, our next thing is we're actually going to put saran wrap right over top of all of our chicken here too. So we can get out a little bit of our aggression here on our chicken, just like we did with our garlic. If you happen to watch the spaghetti and meatballs recipe, we get to pound some chicken. Who's ready for some fun? Get your fists ready. Here we go. So again, you make them as flat as your family likes them. But you want to do them consistently because you're cooking them in the same pan. So you don't want one to be thicker than the the other so that it cooks unevenly. Alrighty, so our chicken is pounded, and now we want to take off that top layer without touching the chicken. So it's good if you give yourself a little bit of extra to fall over with here. Ooh, that one wants to keep coming back. There we go, perfect. Now we can make sure that our hands are still clean, so we've only touched the outside part of the plastic. So now you want to make sure that your chicken is seasoned nicely. So you're going to give it a generous helping here of salt, sprinkling it across all your layers. You don't want your chicken to be too bland, but you use as much salt and pepper as your family likes. Again, playing with it over time, your mama method. There you go. This is what my family likes, just a little bit. And I actually even only coat one side. So our oil has been going over here and is probably getting pretty close to being warm enough. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to dredge our chicken. So I've got 6 eggs over here for my one pan. Good stuff. All right. And we're going to take our breadcrumbs. I don't know if you watched the meatball recipe, but we're going to use the same breadcrumbs as we did for those. So remember, they're not actually breadcrumbs, but if you want to go ahead and use a breadcrumb, go ahead, or a panko crumb or something like that. These are my gluten-free Crunchmaster crackers that we put in the food processor to make our own breadcrumbs here. There we go, and give ourselves a nice good helping of that, because trust me, you're going to go through it. You might have to refill it a few times too. So you're simply going to take one of your egg. First, let's test the egg and make sure that we've got, take a little bit of a drip. I like it. And you see how that starts to bubble and cook right away? That's a good sign to me. That means that our chicken is going to get crispy right away. So we want to take an egg, the chicken, into the egg mixture. You're going to coat both sides, and then you're going to put it in your breadcrumb mixture. And I think usually about 5 pieces fit on one pan. Now I do them this way because I want to make sure that all of them are cooking to the same temperature. So I get all the pieces that are going to go in one pan in together and done at the same time, so I can put them in right away, and that so one is not cooking for 1 minute longer than the. Very good. And we'll take this nice big guy here. So I think we'll start off with 4 in the first pan because this guy's a big one. There we go. We're going to leave that fork down here with the egg. Now I switched to a clean fork. Come on with me. All right. And we're simply going to drop them in. Ooh, get off of there. There we go. So these are going in at 328. I've never timed anything to see how long it actually takes me. I go simply by look. So this way I can tell you after I see the time. It's called the mama method. Beautiful. So they have lots of room in the pan to cook evenly along the edges. We'll time these guys. We're going to flip them after we start to see a little bit of color come along the edges here of the chicken. It's not there yet. So we're going to wait till we see that color, then we're going to turn them once, maybe turn them another 2 or 3 times, and we'll show you what to do when we take them out. Now I'm going to get the other pans filled up. Alright, so the first batch is ready to be flipped, and the way that I can see that is, I don't know if you can see over the top here, you can see a little bit of color starting to come around our edges. Now, definitely a breadcrumb actually colors more. It's like a toast in a toaster color it will start to turn. The crackers don't turn quite as much, but we simply take a fork, 2 forks, and flip them over. Let them cook on both sides now. Now, I wouldn't be happy with that color, so I'm probably going to give them another flip after they cook for a little bit, but they're definitely crisping up, you can tell for sure. We can come over and check some of our other pans and see how they're doing. Yep, we can flip those guys too. Part of food is we also eat with our eyes. So you want it to look the same way that you would feel happy about it in a restaurant. Now these have touched raw chicken parts, so we want to make sure that they stay on one place, and by the time I touch my chicken the next time, it should be cooked enough. So you want to make sure you're not cross-contaminating, and you're going to use a new set of forks once we touch it the next time. We're going to say these as our dirties and these as our cleans. All right, so this is more the color that I like to see. I don't know if you can see the golden areas on the top here. And if I look at my time, it's 3:42, which means I cooked them for 14 minutes. And I did turn them, they cooked twice on each side. So you want to take your clean forks, remember which side was what. You're simply going to pick them up and you're going to lay them on top of paper towel. You want the paper towel to absorb the grease, because if the grease sits on there for longer, then your chicken's not going to be crispy anymore. It's going to be soggy chicken, and nobody wants to eat soggy chicken. Once you have them on your paper towel, right away, I take my salt and I give them another little drizzle. This helps to stop and absorb the liquid that might be on this side of the chicken as well. Again, keeping them crispy. So you can see the oil already coming into the pan from the chicken, which is going to keep our chicken nice and crispy. Hi guys, our first batch of chicken is out, and it's been sitting on the paper towel, and it's drying out here on a cookie sheet. I've got my next batches of chicken started, which means I should start on my French fries. So I've preheated my oven to 425. You're going to just simply take your potatoes and you're going to cut them into big cubes. Again, you could cut them into any shape you wanted. You're also going to get rid of any imperfections that you may not want to have in your French fry. And I like to take mine and stack them up after, so it makes it easier and quicker to cut into my cubes. But you're going to see with trick when you were cutting the potatoes, by the way, I forgot to mention, is you want to try to make them, again like the chicken, as evenly as possible so that they're going to cook the same amount. So what you're going to do is you're just going to take, I don't know, Mama Method, maybe 3 tablespoons of oil. Our salt that's over here. And then give them a coat. A little bit of pepper. And again, you're going to play with the flavors that your family likes. My family used to just like salt, pepper, and paprika. But lately we've been seasoning it up a little bit with the sticky oregano feel. All right. A little bit of oregano and a little bit of garlic. Those are all maybe about a half a teaspoon. But again, you do with what your family likes. Now we do use a little bit more paprika still. Probably closer to a teaspoon, maybe a teaspoon and a half. And with clean hands, you're going to mix so that they're all coated evenly. And then we're going to pour them onto our baking sheet here into a single layer, like a so. Pop that into the oven at 425 for I have no idea how long, but I will get back to you on that. Alrighty, so it's been about 35 minutes. I flipped them over once, the potatoes, at the 425. So we're going to take them out. Oh yeah.
Nice.
Those French fries look delicious. So again, the same thing. We're going to give them a little bit of a seasoning here, and we're going to do the same thing with the potatoes that we did with our chicken. you want to soak up the oil so that they stay crispy on the outside. So we're going to pick them right up and we're going to put them onto some paper towel. And then we're going to plate it up, and I'm going to have one very happy little girl here. She loves French fries. And she loves crispy chicken. Of course, she'll have a nice helping of ketchup along the side of it. We're going to get these all off of the pan. And then we'll plate it up. Now, I do see that this whole plate that she's going to be eating is a whole lot of brown. So if you wanted to throw a side salad with it, that would be a good idea. Or a green smoothie in our family's case. That's what happens a lot of the times. We're going to take our French fries. There we go. And we're going to take a piece of crispy chicken for her. Look at that. There we go. Better than you can get at any restaurant. Happy Meals from Mama, chicken fingers and fries.